When programmers plan the logic for a solution to a programming problem, they often use one of the two tools, pseudocode or flowcharts. Pseudocode is an English-like representation of the logical steps it takes to solve a problem. A flowchart is a pictorial representation of the same thing. Pseudo is a prefix that means false, and to code the program means to put it in programming language. Therefore, pseudocode simply means false code, or sentences that appear to have been written in a computer programming language but do not necessarily follow all the syntax rules of any specific language. Example of a pseudocode: finding average of any three numbers. We might usually specify the procedure of solving these problems. Add the three numbers and divide by 3. Here, read or ask and write or say are implied. However, in an algorithm, these steps have to be made explicit. Thus, a possible algorithm has 6 steps. A flowchart is a graphical representation of an algorithm. There are 6 basic symbols commonly used in flowcharting of assembly language programs: process or processing steps, input-output, decision, connector, terminal, and flow lines. Process or processing steps represented as rectangles. Examples: add 1 to X, replace identified part, save changes, or similar. Input-output, represented as a parallelogram. Examples: get X from the user, display X. Conditional or decision, represented as a diamond or rhombus. These typically contain a yes or no question or true or false test. Connector, represented by a circle, allows the flowchart to be drawn without intersecting lines or without a reverse flow. Start and end symbols or terminal, represented as lozenges, ovals, or rounded rectangles, usually containing the word start or end or another phrase signaling the start or end of a process, such as submit enquiry or receive product. Arrows or flow lines, showing what is called flow of control in computer science. An arrow coming from one symbol and ending at another symbol represents that control passes to the symbol the arrow points to. Example: suppose you are required to design an algorithm for finding the average of 6 numbers and the sum of the numbers is given. The pseudocode will be as follows. The corresponding flowchart: start, get the sum is a parallelogram because you are getting an input. Average is equal to sum divided by 6 is a rectangle because it's a process. Output sum is a parallelogram because it's an output. We placed an oval stop, which means it's the end of the process.